Well, hello and welcome back to the Tao Manifesting Tarot. Glad to have you with me. It is a pleasure, privilege every single time. This is the tarot reading that does two things. One, it helps you manifest by improving your imagination. I'll explain in a moment. And it gives you an opportunity to multitask. All you have on the screen is what you got in front of you right now. It's the spread of tarot cards. That's it. No moving pictures, no changing pictures. And the reason is very simple. By doing this, you must listen to the storyline I put out and fill in the blanks with your imagination. If you're looking at pictures, you're looking at video, and there's action on the screen, your imagination gets weaker with time because you surrender to the pictures on the screen, whatever it is that you're watching. Well, that's great. But that does not help you with your manifesting. It does not build your imagination. And you can see what that does in a world where people are fed all kinds of images at them all day long. Their imagination kind of disappears. You want to improve it so you can manifest better. We start at the bottom. We move our way to the top row. The two center cards, the one in the bottom and the one at the top, are the critical direction cards, and that's where we begin. The bottom center card, the oracle card, between worlds. Alrighty, the letter or the number attached to it up in the upper right hand corner is 3. 3 is always kind of a balancing act. When I think of 3, I think very often of triangles or maybe pyramids, but there's always some kind of a balancing activity that is needed in that situation. And of course, you see there the flamingo stuck between two worlds. Which one is he? Where does he belong? Where does he fit? Probably the same question you're asking for yourself right about now. Because if you're paying attention, if you are alert at all, and I don't mean woke, I mean alert, if you're conscious, you know that what's going on in the world is problematic, and it's impacting you in a very negative way. It puts you, in effect, between two worlds, which means you're no place at all, right? You don't fit, you don't belong in either of the worlds. You're just kind of an oddball no matter where you are. A lot of people feel that way. So let's take a look, see how we can address this energy in terms of your manifesting between two worlds. Go to the left, bottom row, Emperor. Now, the Emperor is the authority figure, the father figure. Talks about structure, talks about regulations, talks about use of force, very controlling. And that's what you're feeling in your life right now for one reason or another. All of us, in fact, are feeling it right now because if you're paying attention, you understand that the world as you know it is being taken from you. And unless you find your place, unless you quit being stuck in the middle, stuck between worlds, the same thing is going to happen to you. You're going to lose all of your freedom, all your independence. That's what's coming into your life right now. Has been for quite a while, actually. Didn't know about it until the last few years. But the Emperor looks to dominate, to use force, very rigid, very inflexible. Censors. That's the energy that you are really kind of dealing with right now. That's the energy that you're kind of fighting. To the point where you got the Four of Cups. That's the next one. And the Four of Cups is basically, you just lost interest. You're bored. You're emotionally shut down. At this point, you understand you don't know your place in the world. And by that I mean from your perspective. Not from what they're telling you, but from your perspective. The world doesn't seem like a good fit. Okay? It's like a pair of shoes that's either 3 times too small or 3 times too big. It doesn't fit. You can't make it fit. That's kind of where you are. And because of that, you're bored. You're almost giving up, but not quite. Almost. The fact that you realize that you're stuck between worlds tells me that there's still a little consciousness floating around there. What you need is a spot of excitement, enthusiasm, and that's the next card over. It is the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is creativity, it's beginnings, it's inspiration, it's courage, it's enthusiasm, it's being plugged into your life. I use this quite a bit. Think of a USB port. Let's say you got a phone or any other device, USB device. Say the batteries run out. No good, right? Not useful in any way whatsoever. It's not a phone, it's a paperweight. Take that, plug it into a USB port, you recharge. And that's what the Ace of Wands is talking about. You want to recharge your life. You're tired of somebody determining what your life is going to be like with no input from you. They're just laying down the laws to the point where after certainly 3 years, maybe even longer, you're just bored. You're just about ready to give up. But there's that little spark, that Ace of Wands. Now, for that spark to ignite, you're going to have a tower moment. And the thing with tower moments is we worry about them, we panic with them, we go, oh my God, look what's going to happen. Oh, but the fact of the matter is tower moments very often are things that we're aware of. Yes, they're destruction, yes, they're sudden changes, but they're a wake-up call. They make you aware of your false securities. You've believed, along with all of us, a line of baloney. And you're aware of it now, that it is baloney. That's why you're stuck between two worlds. Because you don't know what's true, what's real. You've been told this all your life. You're finding out it's not true, has never been true, but where do you go to find the real? So if we review the bottom row, you're tired of getting somebody else telling you what your life is going to be like to the point where you're just about ready to give up, but there's that little element in your life. And if it hasn't arrived, it will shortly. Before probably the end of the month, you got that Ace of Wands, you got that spark of enthusiasm, positivity, enlightenment, joy. You're ready to be plugged into your life. But to be able to do that, you're going to have a tower moment. You're going to have a realization. Something happens. It's a wake-up call. And you got to be ready for it. Up top, on the left, we go to the Knight of Cups. And knights are always bringing gifts, and this knight brings love, sensitivity, introspection. That may be the biggest gift that all the Knight of Cups brings. And here's the funny thing about it. It's not a big deal. It's not a big, nobody from the outside is going to go, wow, look at that. You got that. It's a very quiet, subtle thing. But the Knight of Cups begins to awaken you to the love of yourself. You begin to appreciate yourself. You begin to value yourself. And that's very important when you've had all of your life somebody dictating to you what your life is going to be like. You're going to grow up, you're going to do this, and you're going to die. That's the way it is. You're going to play the game by our rules, and you're finding out their rules don't serve you at all. And you are at a point where you got to make a decision. And the Knight of Cups says, in order to make a good decision, you got to love yourself. You got to appreciate yourself. Which means the Death card comes into play. And the Death card, again, it's very much like the Tower moment. We all panic and go, oh, dying. Oh, it's a transformation. It's endings. It's beginnings. You're getting rid of something. You're shedding something. You're shedding that idea that you have to have a life that's directed by somebody else. You're breaking free. You're reclaiming your power. You're reclaiming your self-worth. That means the old system, the old way of thinking, the old way of being has to die. Maybe a little difficult, but it's not the heavy-duty disaster that people tend to think. We move over, skipping the middle card. We'll get to that at the end. Up top, Queen of Wands. Love this card, especially right now because we did have the Ace of Wands at the bottom. Queen of Wands ties into that. She's wholehearted. She's charming. She's enthusiastic. She has self-confidence. Very, very positive. That's the attitude that you have to take. First step, learn to appreciate yourself. And that's going to be an ongoing project. After that, watch what happens to your enthusiasm. Watch what happens to your positivity. Queen of Wands are going to fire you up. Going to let you see that there is a chance that you can control your life much more than you've ever been told, much more than they want you to know. And to underline that fact, we have upright Page of Wands. Pages always change the storyline. The Page of Wands is enthusiasm, opportunity, high energy, plugged into your life. It's nice that you wrap up the card with 2 Wands cards, and you also have the Ace of Wands. That positivity, that enthusiasm. Yes, you don't have to be stuck between worlds. You don't have to, don't pay attention to the Emperor. And in fact, the final card is a vice versa card. It's in the middle, up top. It's the Hierophant. Again, we're emphasizing this idea of somebody else determining what your life is. It's a person, organization, it's a belief system. It's even group identification. Well, I'm an American, or I'm a European, I'm African or Aussie or whatever. I got to act a certain way. No, you don't. You have to learn to be your own Hierophant. You have to take responsibility, and that's the tricky part, because we've really not been taught how to take responsibility for ourselves. We've always depended on somebody else, and they are now depending on that programming, that training. They can keep taking power from us and put us under their total control. That's the plan. You going to let it happen? You going to be stuck between worlds? You going to stay in limbo, going nowhere fast? Your choice. Your choice. Choose wisely, Grasshopper. You have all the power, all the ability. It's in the cards. You can manifest a new life, a new world for yourself, new options, new future. Your choice. Love yourself and step forward into a brand new year, brand new era. It's the reading for today. We'll be back tomorrow with another Tao Manifesting reading. I hope you're with me. It always makes it better. Between now and the time you and I have a chance, however, to do Manifesting Tarot together, as always, peace and blessings.